Hi and welcome to this basic tutorial on using uiZ. We'll start off in the first tutorial with creating a simple square. You could do this like in a draw event, but we're going to do this on the uiZ way, which allows you to have certain positioning options you wouldn't have otherwise, or would require a lot of code otherwise. So what I already did is I created an object and then I put that object inside of a room. So this is that object here. We'll add a create event. And what we need to do is we need to initialize uiZ, which can be easily done using this script. And then, well, we're done with that. We can actually create a square. So square equals uiZ C. Now uiZ C is kind of a object creation script. It's actually just instance create, but it's a little bit shorter. There's actually an object called uiZ square. All objects start with obj uiZ with a capital letter, so you'll see that there. So this will return an instance ID, and that's now inside of square. Let's actually run it and see if we can see anything. Spoiler, we can't, because we have a square, but we didn't really define where or how big we want it. See, there's nothing. After every object you create, you have to fix it, which means that all the positioning values and sizing values you gave it needs to be calculated into actual screen position values. So that is what fixing does, and we can actually fix it with fix general position square, but we only want to execute this script right after we've changed something. But let's first start by changing the position, which is right now at 0, 0. We can actually do this by using this syntax, square dot pos val x, pos value x, and we can set that to 100. We can do the same for the y, and if we run our game now, see, there's nothing here. Actually, if we resize the window, a little thing pops up. This is actually a square. The default size is 10 by 10 pixels, but the reason why it didn't pop up was because the object wasn't fixed. Whenever we create our object and set certain values for it, we have to translate those values into pixel values on the screen, which is called fixing. And there is one script that does it for all objects, which is called fix general pos. Now to do this for a square, and if we would run our game now, then we can see that we already have a square there. So if we want to reposition the square, we first have to say where we want it, but also say how we want it to be there. I'm just going to type this code in to make it work, and I'll explain it later. Okay, so now I've written that code, and we can actually reposition our square using by changing the values pos val x and change it to, let's say, 100. And we can do the same for the y coordinate, and once we run it now, then we can see we repositioned our square. We can also resize it. We also need a code like this, which is square.posval w type, which we're also going to set to px. I'll explain this again later, but for now we just have to do it with this. And then let's just copy this over. We can change the width and height by posval w and posval h, and if we run it, then we can see that we have a nice big square over here.